Mike, do you remember the story that my Ottawa team did about the live described performance of Something Rotten in New York City?
I sure do. And I love the fact that more and more theaters are taking this approach to making their live performances accessible.
And there's so many ways they can do it, whether it's through headsets and live described performances for the blind and low vision community, or ASL interpreters for the deaf community.
But it doesn't stop there. One theater here in Toronto takes these efforts to a whole other level, and that's Theatre Passe Muraille.
Toronto presenter Anthony McLachlan dropped by the theater to check out those accessibility features and catch a one-woman performance of Stupidhead, a musical about her struggle, sometimes comedic, sometimes painful, with dyslexia.
Kath turns her back to us, and when she spins around, she is Grime.
Name, Grime. Actually, it's Mike, but Grime is an inside joke. I like to joke around with my friends.
Theatre Passe Muraille, or TPM, is a leader in the theatrical community when it comes to incorporating accessibility into its productions. Having a described performance is one thing, but at TPM it has a more intimate feel. That's because the voice theater goers here is the director of the production. And in the case of Stupidhead, that is Aaron Willis.
Usually what we want to do is we want to have, ideally, the director do the audio description because the director knows the show and kind of knows it inside out and knows the action. Essentially what I do is I create a script that I then will rehearse at one point with the help of a consultant that Passe Muraille has for this, get some notes on it, and then essentially at one performance, I watch the show on a camera feed and then I do my description.
Another cool initiative spearheaded by the theater is incorporating touch tours into the described performances. Members of the audience are invited to arrive early and get a better understanding of the props that will be used in the play, like the brain that hangs above the stage in Stupidhead.
Hanging at the center of the stage, about 5 feet off the ground, will be what looks like a brain. It's outside covered in white half spheres, little globes. It lights up from the inside, and at the moment it is a gentle blue.
TPM's push to be all-inclusive doesn't end there, though, and that's in large part due to the work of artistic director Andy McKim. They also offer relaxed performances, with low light in the audience during the performance, a pre-show introduction, less intense sound and lighting, the ability to come and go as you please, and a chill-out space outside the theater.
And it serves the needs of those people, for example, who are on the autism spectrum, or maybe they have Tourette's, or maybe there are other reasons why their body may be doing something involuntary in a public space, which would reduce their sense of being relaxed in the company of others. But we try and create an environment where, in fact, all of that is welcome and embraced, and everybody's cool.
Andy also explained Theatre Passe Muraille has made a push to include the deaf community beyond simple sign language performances. They also offer some shows where deaf interpreters sign to fellow members of the community.
We're excited that we've had a couple of opportunities, not only to work with ASL, but to work with deaf interpretation, because that gets us even closer, I think, to conversing with the deaf culture on an even playing field. So it's critical that that happen, otherwise there's no accessibility whatsoever for the deaf culture.
Clearly, TPM is making an overwhelming effort to be inclusive, and the plays they choose often do the same. Aaron points out that Stupidhead touches on themes that are relevant to all human experiences.
I find the play simultaneously funny and moving all at the same time, because I think for me it locates itself really strongly in a feeling we all have, a feeling like at some point we've all felt like an outsider or a freak, or that we are not good enough for whatever reason. All the kind of voices we have in our own head that say you're a terrible person, you're a failure, you're not good at this, you're not good at that, you're never going to amount to anything. We all feel that to a certain degree, and I think in Catherine's story of dealing with a learning disability, her situation, especially as a kid in school, was really exacerbated by that. So it's kind of like all those feelings that we all understand dialed up to a very intense level.
Catherine gestures to the brain, which lights up and flickers happily at her.
There are so many parts of the brain working together to keep you safe, but we'll discuss the spot that I've been taught is responsible for my pain. The parietal lobe is the name, and reasoning is the game. It helps you with left and right, and learning by sight, and living without any shame. It helps you with reading and writing, succeeding at school, knowing directions, and being
The whole reason to make plays is to have people come and see them. And the more people that can come and see them, the better. I think the more we can make it easy for anybody to come and see a play, no matter who they are or what sort of challenges they deal with, or that they should be able to come and feel like they can be part of the audience like anyone else. You know? So I think it's great that theaters are starting to take these services on and try to make things accessible. And I think it's just going to keep happening more and more. In some ways, theater is such a local art, like it really thrives when it's connected to the community that it's in. To be as thoroughly connected to all the groups in the community is got to be a good thing.
Here I am. Wow.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I am just so impressed with Passe Muraille.
Absolutely, Dave. And you know, I talked to Anthony about TPM, and he went into greater detail with me about the deaf interpretation performances. Even though the deaf interpreter knows the show well, an ASL interpreter sits in the crowd and signs to them on stage, just to ensure they stay on time with the play.
Just an incredible attention to detail. TPM has thought of everything. Now, you may have missed the run of Stupidhead, but don't worry, lots more content coming up. Just check the listings on the website at passemuraille.ca. That's PASSEMURAILLE.ca.
And one more thing you should know about TPM, Dave. Their accessibility initiatives don't just end at the stage. They've also taken steps to make their website more accessible. Browse Aloud Support software provides a toolbar throughout their website, which allows the information presented to be accessed through speech software, reading, and translation. This facilitates access and participation for a wider range of people.
Mike, you/they just blew my mind. Hats off to them. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not wearing a hat.
No, you're not.